Next is disconnection from meaningful values. So how do we reconnect with meaningful values? So, I mean, I don't have too many fixes for this one, guys. But, I mean, the thing that we have to do most, I believe, is try not to believe in, to buy into the celebrity. I made a note in my phone when I was listening to Lost Connections, and I don't know whether this was something that Johann said. I guess it would have been, or something that I thought of, and I'm just stealing his quote if that's the case, but who knows. But there was a note in my phone that we are now the marketing director of our own lives. So, through Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever, we have this persona. The word personal brand disgusts me. It absolutely disgusts me. And the reason for that is, I understand it if it's the fact that you're a Tony Robbins figure and you sell whatever it is that you sell, but you are your own, you are your own product and you are your own company and so forth. I got a friend, Mac Rundle. If he was, if his personal brand and his brand and what he does is somewhat him, I get that. Excuse me. Need water. I get that. But this whole personal brand for just personal brand's sake, for influencers, for, F-grade celebrities, for just, everyone's general, just for people in general. The whole concept it freaks me out. And I often see people on their Instagram stories looking down the camera of the Instagram story, just dictating their day every 30 minutes, telling people what they're doing. And I don't see the value in it. I really don't see the value in it. And I feel like it's part of the problem in that we are basically, our egos have kind of spiraled out of control to the point where I have an ego. I like to look good, or try to look good. I look like, obviously I've, Face for Radio 101. That's me, this bloke right here. But I like to look good. I like to feel like my voice is heard. I like to feel like a leader. I want to be the center of attention. I have an ego. I have a massive ego, and I don't consciously, try to feed my ego, but I know that it's there, and it plays, tricks on me a lot. But I think this whole influencer economy that we're living in, this whole influencer movement, this whole influencer day and age, it's a real problem that we're facing. And, I'm not saying that influencers are bad. I have friends that are influencers that have, hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and so forth. And they're just awesome people. Some of the best people you'll know. Dead set, some of the best people you know. 3 people that come to mind are, and who are my closest, true influencer friends are Dave Driscoll, Jackie Perez, and Khan Porter. Khan I'm, probably not as close with as I am the other two, but Dave I was particularly close with for years as one of my best buddies. And they are, I always hesitate to use this term, but they are salt of the earth, so to speak. So I really do believe that, and they're not out to do things that, aren't anything but positive for the world, but, they're the best case scenario with influencers. But if you're a kid, and even though what Jackie, Dave, Khan put out, it's all positive, it's all good stuff. If you're a kid and you grew up and you didn't come from a good household and you didn't have good genetics, I'm talking looks-wise, you're a bit beat up, you're not a good-looking rooster. You don't have money, you're not super well educated. You didn't get, for lack of a better term, kissed on the dick. I don't know where I heard that term, but can't believe I just used it on the podcast. But if you didn't get the run of it, out of the womb, if you weren't one of the lucky ones, and you're looking at social media and you're following even the best of the best, my friends Dave, Jackie, Khan, and so forth, you're probably going to look at their life and you're going to go, oh man, my life sucks. You know, our days are filled with, oh man, my life sucks. So I don't know what we can do to not buy into that, to not buy into the celebrity. I think one good thing, which is has happened, which is, there's all these apps coming out now that are apps that'll help you stay off Instagram, apps that'll help you stay off YouTube or whatever it is. These apps are super beneficial and they really work. So for example, I used to always delete Instagram for the longest time. I'd try and stay off it for as long as I can, but I'm trying to toe the line of using it for commerce, to build the business and to try and, do good where I can or whatever. And without, getting myself heavily involved in it day to day, but also, trying to reply to people and be, to build that community and be a good bloke to the people that do follow me. And it's a tough gig. So what I do is I've got my Instagram, my phone set to 30 minutes a day. So I can not go on Instagram for any more than 30 minutes a day, and then it's shut off, and I'm locked out, and I don't have the passcode. So actually, I lie right now. I do have the passcode, but the idea is that I don't have the passcode. I've always given it to my housemates. Hey, can you set my code on my phone, and go from there. So even though I'm still getting that, influencer, I'm still getting influenced. I'm able to limit it, and the other thing is, these junk values or whatever, they're related to, commerce as well. So just try and, I think it's really important, and I don't think we're taught in schools, and nobody really understands that money doesn't buy you happiness. Money just is, a way that we put a roof over our head and put food in our bellies, and we can do some nice things with it and so on and so forth. But there's a really interesting note that was in the book in Lost Connections that Sao Paulo had banned outdoor advertisement. So, billboards of like, buy this, buy that, bus shelters, buy this, buy that, trams going buy this, buy that, plastered all over the place. Like, basically, when you walk down the street, most of what you see is, hey, go work harder to get more money so you can buy this shit that we're trying to sell you. And that's not very good. So I think the thing that we need to remember is we need to remember that money doesn't do fuck all for you. As long as you've got a roof over your head and as long as you've got food in your belly and you're surrounded by people that you love, then you're sweet. That's all you need. So I think we just have to make more of a conscious effort to not buy into the celebrity, to not be the PR people of our own lives, to just try and live in the real world and try and switch off and disconnect, and also try not to buy into consumerism and so forth. And it's all more difficult. It's all more difficult. Wait, it's all harder said than done, because all the money is going against us in that regard. But that's what we need to do.